start with the recap. And as usual, I'll try to go back as far as I can. Group of adventurers met up in the forest, fought some wolves. A little bit of demonic activity, a little bit of some weird shit. In lightning flashes, a strange figure was shown in the darkness and shadows of the forest of the night as you cooked and grilled your success.
Of demonic wolves.
Of demonic wolves. Then the wolves stood up and made demonic presence known. And there you were asked by Umbra's friend, Crunk, I believe was his name.
Crunk!
Asked by the Fae, by Crunk, to go and seek out, whatever this is that's happening in the world. There's a strange presence going on, and the Fae were concerned. You went out seeking anyone with information and ended up in Redstone. Spoke with the Medjay Marauders, or Medjay Marauders, doesn't matter, depends on where you're from, and they say it was a barbed devil, and that there is more going on beyond just this barbed devil. Woke up the next morning preparing to leave to go and discover what is happening and to investigate. And lo and behold, that barbed devil, that very one, appeared outside the city walls, punching the walls, trying to bring it down as a party of killing murderous gnolls tried to also break into the city and amongst the civilians of Redstone, and were thwarted and stopped by the three of you and two unexpected allies, whom of which had strange relations to two of you. Barb Devil was slain. Everyone rose, left the city finally, after a long discussion about a ballista, and then set out and then set out for Hundurbiri. We briefly stopped by a banshee, of which Roman almost had his earballs fucking cored out, and then found a bit more of a sad situation that is a small village where all of the inhabitants had been lured out, piled up, and burned. And then you all slayed the evildoers, mace-carrying Dark Elf leader, as well as all of his cronies. Didn't even bother to learn anything about them. Wasn't important enough. What was important is what they were doing, and that it needed to stop. And you did. Stop them from living. So, you all loaded up into an inn. I'll say you probably found some food in that inn, considering the inhabitants of that town just might have happened to have died that day, and it's because they did. So there was food around in the inn that you could have taken with you, so I'll say that you can refill your rations if you have some marked off.
Oh, goody.
Just something I might nudge at you guys. Something to remember going forward in further campaigns where I'm not going to be as nice, because I'm not technically supposed to be, but just like a nudge in the right direction, if you know what I mean.
I'm realizing something. Wouldn't there not be much food because they were lured out with the idea of food in the first place?
It's not necessarily that they were lacking food, it's just like in a time like this and in a place like this, would you not take, say, a little extra food? Especially in a little... Yeah, it's kind of poorly little village. Why not? A little extra food. Let's have a feast. Let's party. Everybody gather in the streets. Let's have a great time and eat some spare food for once in our lives. So,
look how that turned out.
You all had, from what I understand, gathered, hopped on your horses and began to ride away. If there's anything you guys want to do retrospectively, we can do that now. Anything, the night before you went to sleep, the morning, anything before you leave, just in general. If not, we'll take off out of the village.
One thing I would mention is my club that deals plus 1d4 damage, because of one of my abilities that I've leveled up with, it actually deals plus 1d6 damage.
Oh, okay, very nice.
So I am now stronger. That is
good.
all. I think I'm ready to go, but I'll wait for them to do what they need to do.
Nothing comes to mind. Oh, I didn't pick my ability yet. Ooh.
Ah, that's something to work on as we ride here.
Yeah.
I will tell you right now, this is definitely the session where you would want to do that.
Yeah. Yes,
Ooh.
it is.
Of the 6, I will give you a brief moment. Would anyone else like to do anything while he?
I'm gonna DM you that thing I was talking about that I want to do with a rock. See if you'll allow it. Look at my rune magic.
Yep, all good. I'm just having a moment trying to remember how to function YouTube because my brain doesn't work, which will come into play later, where we will be swapping. Just telling you guys right now to expect it when we get to that point, and you won't know when, but I will tell you when. We'll be swapping from my camera, which I'm pointing at for no reason, to a screen capture of YouTube so that you all can hear the music playing. So there will be a brief, quick, like 2 minutes where we stop, and I'm going to say, hey, can you guys hear this? Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Can you hear this? Just like, until we can make sure we get it working, which shouldn't take but a couple seconds. And then,
Alright.
Ooh, yes. I vaguely remember this now. Okay, so.
If I do this and I combine the glyphs...
So is this something you were doing the night before?
Yes, it is. I'm gonna combine the 2 glyphs, and then since it's not a bonus to damage, it's just something that deals damage, it'll do my damage die.
Okay.
So I've just got to...
Oh, yes, okay, I fully remember now what we were talking about. Yep.
At this point, I just gotta combine them, and then I gotta roll and see if it works.
Okay, so roll your rune magic.
Alright, I'll go ahead and roll it, just in case we'll see what happens when I roll. I got plus 2 to wisdom now, so...
Mm-hmm. Let's say you're doing this pondering on the meaning of those 2 things, considering what just happened the evening before.
And if I can try, I'll make a couple, but let's see what happens with the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my fucking Christ!
Again?
I rolled snake eyes!
You rolled XP is what you rolled. Oh Jesus.
What happens? I'm doing this in secret, so what happens if I'm just like trying to be sneaky?
I'll say
Try to be a surprise, and then
it finishes. Nothing seems to be wrong. Everything seems to be fine. And then the rock begins to corrupt out from where you write this glyph, and it cracks in darkness, and then it begins to consume the rock. And holding it, and, like looking at it, you like drop it reactively, and then you look at your hand and think a lot of Harry Potter references when we're playing this lately. But your hand begins to crawl black, kind of like the curse on Dumbledore's hand, and then the glyphs on your fingers from your healing runes begin to glow slightly, and the blackness, covering your hand, this curse disappears, and then your runes just kind of fizzle out and like kind of fizzle into like this green mist going up into the air.
Oh shit!
Unfortunate.
Ouch.
I will say, of the 2 things you were messing with, quite dangerous, but that rune saved you. That could have been really bad.
I will make that work.
That could have been really, really bad.
But I might need to fix that rune on my hand, just in case I do fuck up again. Alright. I'll wait till... If no one else is gonna do anything, I'm gonna make one more roll to try to fix my healing rune, and if that doesn't work, I'll give up.
Alright, go for it. Take a shot.
I was gonna ask if there are any like shops or anything that were left in the village. Anything at all like that?
There's probably a couple, maybe like a tactile, and then maybe some pottery stuff, and maybe a blacksmith of like purely blacksmith, not a bladesmith necessarily, but there's a few metallic items in there that could be useful, maybe. Just depends on how much you're willing to look around. What are you looking
Okay.
for exactly? That's usually where this goes.
Nothing in particular. Just curious to see if I could find something rather than something in particular.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's depending on what it is. I mean, there's stuff here and there, but it's not a particularly. This is just a little village. This isn't like this isn't a town or somewhere that people will like point to on a map and go, yeah, I've been there before. This is just kind of a small farming village. Like, it's not tiny, but it's not a super well-known place. Would anyone like? Oh, the roll. How was the roll?
Yeah, I was gonna wait till everyone else is done. All right, let's see what this roll is now. Please don't be fucking.
Shoot your shot.
Again. Okay, I got a 9.
Ooh, okay. I actually have not yet looked at the 7 and 9 on this. Rune is weak, limited, or dangerous. Your choice. So wait, is it? It means your choice, not the DM's choice, right?
Yeah, I think it says your choice. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not reading anywhere where it starts by saying the GM. Yeah, okay, so it's you, because I do the other stuff, drawbacks or whatever.
It's a healing rune.
Hmm.
I'm gonna choose dangerous.
Dangerous. Ooh. So
I'm gonna write that down.
I'm tempted by just you writing dangerous, and when we come around to it, we'll discuss why it's dangerous and what happens. Instead of thinking of it now. It's just like not even, just like purposefully not thinking about it and seeing what comes up in the moment. You like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume I'm like making the rune. I'm like, all right, now that that's fixed, and I assume.
And then it like flickers slightly, and then it's like, okay. See, it's still there.
I'll worry about that when I'm dying.
Like, well, that better not mean anything.
I'll make sure to use it right when I'm near death. A life rune that's dangerous.
One of those. Are these working?
God, I
hope my
I
eyes checked.
God, I hope I don't turn into a tree or something. But all right.
Need to head back to Redstone and get checked out by the definitely optometrist that totally exists there.
Hell yeah.
All right. So.
All right, boys. I'm mostly okay. We're ready when y'all are to leave.
All right. Everyone loads up on their horses. Mounts up. Patroller with you. Looking a bit less sorrowful than he did yesterday because of all of the shit that you guys had seen. And you begin to kick off and ride. And the rain has stopped, and it's a little humid. There's a nice fog settling down in the valleys in between the hills and up above the forest whenever you crest a tall hill and you can see out over the forest. But it's chilly. It's a chilly humid. I would say, for reference, I would say probably upper 40s. Like it's chilly. Not freezing, just chilly. And Garlor riding along, he looks mostly off in thought for most of the time, and looks like he's, let's say, if anybody's like behind him or next to him, you glancing over, you notice that he kind of looks like he's maybe mustering a question, or just at least the courage to ask, sort of social cues that he's giving. And he looks over at you, Crow, and he's, excuse me if it's impeding slightly, but are you a skeleton? You're quite good at hiding your features. I just noticed that you seem not normal.
Who is normal?
I imagine there's a story
That's
there
true.
because you are sentient and not trying to kill me, so.
Well, as far as I honestly, genuinely know, I was brought back to life just, like, less than a month ago now, I believe.
Interesting.
And I ended up stumbling across these two, and here we are. I'm not 100% sure about who I was when I was living, but I have an idea.
Interesting. What are your clues? What have you picked up that might be from your past?
Someone who may have knew me, actually.
Interesting. Memory lost and then a friend found. Intriguing. And riding along, kind of looking at Crow, and he just kind of looks off in thought for a moment. And he doesn't look at you. He just kind of rides up next to you, Umbra, and he just keeps looking straight ahead, and he does not make a face, and he says, "And as for you, your question may determine my next actions. But heavy curiosity. Where did you come across this armor that you are wearing? Because it is quite familiar, and I know it well.
And
Answer
why is that?
wisely. Whose armor is that? That might be a bit more direct of a question.
It's my inheritance.
Inheritance. So, he had a son.
Indeed, he did.
Interesting. And when did this happen? Are you aware of your birthplace?
Yes. That happened about, I'd say 1,000 years ago.
Thing? I know you're kind, I believe. Why would your father come here? And how are you alive 1,000 years later? There's another good question.
That is an incredibly long story.
One I would imagine is filled with great detail. I should simply say, good luck in your endeavors. The mantle of the Blue Phantom is not quite easily taken. I was around at the time that your father took up some of his endeavors, at least on this continent. I don't know much of the other. I'm not as familiar with Aragos. I'm not from there. I'm elsewhere. But he was a great hero to Reyna after some of the foolish acts of some of the men sent by Lord Darren there at the time, about 1,000 years ago. And he's one of the great heroes there amongst Dimoy Chekhov, and well as and he kind of looks up to the sky and bows. He says, "Our Lady Hera," and he bows to the sky. Your father was a great man. Big shoes to fill, though. We'll all be watching. And then he kind of squints at you.
Bigger than you can imagine.
But have you ever been to Aragos? You ever traveled as far?
Well,
To your
not that I recall.
to your kin's home?
No,
It is
no, I
beautiful
haven't.
there. Quite peaceful. The Suyosa, as far as I know them, quite peaceful people. Quite helpful to the beast folk of Aragos some time ago.
My father and mother used to speak of it, but I've never been myself.
Most of the evil deeds done long ago are outside of my knowledge, but it was before my time. But yes, I do vaguely remember some of your people. But you are a rare find these days. Keep yourself as alive as you can. Ironic that I say that, headed to where we are, and into what we don't know. But yes.
I've mostly been concerned with keeping my friends here alive.
And tell me, Half-Blood, who are your kin?
My kin?
Yes.
Well, my father, my pa, he was just a glyphsmith. He just made runes for the local townsfolk down in
Interesting.
Restford.
Derivatives of the primordial magics. Wonderful.
And as for my mother, she was the elf.
Interesting.
Uh,
Who were her kin? Are you aware at all?
I know next to nothing about my mother. I've been traveling
Interesting.
the land looking for her. Every quest I take, every mission I uphold, I have not found her. She's from...
Your affinity to magic, or at least the runes, at least the runes, I'm assuming you may be of my kind, not those of Garda. They are a bit more martial than we are. My people, common thing that people misconceive is they are the elves and we are the Eladrin. That comes with a large explanation, but a bit of a difference there, though we are mostly the same. I'm assuming you're one of my kind versus theirs.
I honestly couldn't tell you. Back when I was young, I was training to be a knight. But then I got to learning what my father does every so often. And then when he passed, I took up Old's mantle. And it took a while, but I became the next glyphsmith of Restford. So I'm both martial and magic. I don't know what my mother is, so I couldn't tell you whose bloodline I am.
Martial with the willpower of man and the magic abilities of the elves. The Eladrin, my kind. Have you ever traveled beyond the borders of this continent? Have you ever been home to Galgaret?
Honestly, I haven't even been down south. I've been up north for the most part.
He looks kind of like... He looks a bit somber as he says, you know, Galgaret, referring to the continent and being like that kind of far away, like I'm like that look of like I'm so far away. He just kind of like looks down. I see. Well, it's quite beautiful. Go there sometime.
I've got time. I'm only 37. I
You ever come into
any day.
Lump sum of gold and riches, you might retire there sometime. A wonderful place. Very old place, but wonderful place.
I might be sticking here, what with all the troubles around. I might be able to teach people what I know.
Kinda looks around and goes, Yes, I miss home. I'm from Galgaret, actually. What I do now is a part of the Ganymede. We mostly uphold the very root of justice in the world as much as we can, amongst the other orders that have subsects of us, placed on different continents, mostly having different responsibilities. But I come from a place, the great city of Air. It is a beautiful place. I can see it anytime I like within my mind. Rides with you for that long. I've missed home for some time now. And I long to see the rainbow rooftops again, spreading out over miles. Low sunset illuminates the top of the houses. My forebear's balcony, the bay and bar, the great manor we've owned for some time. And on that balcony you can actually look out over the hills that we call Calan Nair. It's stretches on to the horizon as far as the eye can see. And down below the city, the halflings that farm in the early spring. All soft-faced fellows. Wonderful. And they make fantastic food.
Now you're selling this experience to me.
And he smiles and he says, and then you can smell, as well in the early spring, before the festivals, you can smell the bakeries of all the bakers making bread for Ithwildeen, which is the festival in the spring. Smell rises up and it just penetrates everything. It's delightful. A cold breeze comes down from the mountains, right over Belegtham and Mithsoni Ered, to the mountains over air. Beautiful. I miss home. I really do.
You know what? If all goes well, we're 2 elves. Maybe I could make a trip down to possibly where I'm from.
And still smiling, he says, it's well worth it. You will not regret it.
Perhaps I'd join you if so.
That sounds like a great idea. What about you, Crow? You want to come down to Gale Garret?
Perhaps.
Doesn't matter if you say no, I'm dragging you along anyway. Can't escape me now.
The description reminded me of my home, though I'm afraid I'll never be able to experience such a festival from there for quite some time.
Well, I do suggest the spring festival. That is my favorite time of year. I would love for you all to experience it. And after his little, very nostalgic, talks of home and all of that, continue to ride on. And I will say everybody is not a typical roll.
Oh god.
We're gonna do a weird version of Undertake a Perilous Journey. But instead of choosing rolls, everybody's just basically making a wisdom roll. Basically Defy Danger Wisdom, but it's under the notes of Undertake a Perilous Journey, but also it isn't. So everybody roll 2d6 plus Wisdom.
Oh, thank God. I have +3 to that, and I've only passed...
2d6 plus Wisdom?
I have technically passed 1 out of 2 to those today. My main skill. Let's go.
Oh, God.
9.
Holy Christ. I got a 14.
I rolled a
Jesus.
5.
I got a 9.
My eyes are peeled.
I am glad that I put my Wisdom at 0 from -1.
Okay, so...
Oh, by the way, Eurus, I DM'd you the
Yes,
ability I picked
that's
with a request. Yeah, cool.
I wish I got this 14 when I was trying to make my cool magical item to show my friends.
You could just grab another rock and try it again.
I damn near might. At the end of this little thing going on, I probably will take another rock out my bag and try it again. But what's this 14 gonna get me?
So you notice first and quickly, and then Crow after. Umbra probably not until someone points it out, but Roman, you notice there is a peculiar looking hole in the ground. It looks like it goes down into some kind of cave. But I say peculiar because there aren't typically just holes in the ground. That doesn't really just happen. And considering this is like a hilltop, that's not normal. And also considering that you've been riding on, as you've been riding, you've been getting directions from passersby as to creepy castle somewhere to the south. You know which direction we should be going. And oh yeah, keep going that way. Go past the road and keep riding straight. Follow the forest. It'll take you there. Blah blah blah. Pretty much same thing for everybody. So you've been off the road for a little bit now, just kind of riding through the hills, just following the edge of the forest, and on a hilltop there is a hole. What would you like to do?
Crow, you see that?
Yeah.
Umbra,
That
Trello,
is-
look over yonder.
Well,
It's
that's that's somewhat suspicious.
It's a hole.
Well,
That don't seem natural though.
let's go see what it is then.
All right, pit stop, guys. We're gonna take a gander over here, see what's going
Yeah.
on. This could
Can
be
I
trouble.
discern realities to see if it was made by a creature?
Roll discern realities.
All right then. So, jeez. Keep forgetting specific things to roll, but it's usually 2d6. I'm just kidding.
2d6. And what's the third realities? Plus wisdom, something like that.
Yes, plus wisdom.
It's not my lucky day, man.
What did
I
you
rolled
roll?
a 5 again. Dude.
Well, that's 2 marks of XP total so far.
Hey, you're
So-
me in the last session.
I will tell you what you seem to ascertain from this, at least from what you know, Umbra, being cooped up in the woods for a long time. You look at this, and it is some sort of circular door thing. It's not entirely a hole. It goes down about 3 feet, but once you get up to it, you can actually see down into it. And it looks to be of elven make. Just quote unquote elven, as far as as far as you know.
Elven. So it doesn't look Fey related, does it? Or is it just flat? Okay.
No, Fae don't really make stuff.
So why don't
Okay.
we ask the elf in the party what he thinks of it?
I mean, there's technically 2 hells.
Full or a half? What you looking for?
Full elf. Yeah, I mean, like,
Optimistic.
There's a slight
pessimistic?
disparity there. I would like to know which.
Which elf you talking to?
I will say, from what I can see,
You
I
probably
don't-
know more than me. Trello, you take over.
I mean, if this is
I'm
of
really
elven make, it's not
knowledgeable
of
when
my
it comes
kind.
to
It's
Fey.
probably from Jada. But even that, I cannot tell you for sure.
So the Jard elves, those are the ones that have been attacking, right?
Yes, it is.
Then why would one of their structures be on Arcanesia? We would have dismantled this, I'm sure, before. One of the war minds or some other adventuring party would have taken this out.
so do we check out what
Maybe
exactly is
both.
going on down there, or do we just want to keep going?
I jump in.
I jump in after
He
it.
says that I just jump in.
So you jump in and you land, as I said, on this door. It doesn't seem to shift or move or do anything, but you're standing on a metallic door that looks to be of elven make. But while you're standing there, kind of waiting for something, expecting it to give way or open or something to happen, you all 4 of you hear a sound deep in your minds. You just hear and then it just kind of echoes on, and then it just stops. Kind of hurts a little bit. And then it shifts
I
slightly,
didn't hear it.
and then it opens suddenly just opens, and then you all drop down and you're sliding in the darkness and you can't see anything. Just the
Life's
hole from
extreme.
behind you just disappears into darkness.
Life's as extreme as you wanna make it.
And you're sliding. It feels like metal as you slide along, and you're going fast. It's really fast. This is rapid and very, very nervous moment here.
Is it
Sliding,
like a
sliding,
slide?
sliding. Turn suddenly. Turn this way suddenly.
I just assume it's like a slide. I'm gonna sit on my shield while I'm sliding down.
So-
this is actually kind of fun. It's like my parkour pack.
So bouncing around as you go along, bouncing off the corners and turning, bumping and doing things, and you all kind of slow and then come to a stop. And it is complete silence and complete darkness. And you have no idea what is happening because there's just nothing. And then suddenly, the floor from underneath Roman's feet, between your feet, Roman, there's a small white line, and I would say it's about 4 inches wide. Kind of lights slightly in one little spot about this big. And then it stretches out, and there's like 3 feet. And then it branches off, and lights begin to light up all over the room as it trails along, and it looks like veins to something, but they look mechanical and like angled and hard. And this room begins to light up, and as it lights up, one side kind of goes out. You can see it like crawl back a little bit, and it shuts off, and the other side's all lit up, and it's like flashing and dim. And you can look around now, and there's like, looks like hoses and things hanging from the ceiling, and there's metal panels all over the floor, and you've never seen anything like this. A room of metal. A room made of metal. Most things are made of stone that are made nicely. This room is made of metal. And over at the far end of the room, you can't make out much detail of it, but you can see a shape that looks to be in some kind of throne, that looks to be slouched in a chair, just leaning forward, and it's just kind of a silhouette. And it looks quite large. Not giant size necessarily, but big for a person.
Is he cutting out for anyone else?
Oh, hello? Hello?
I can hear you pretty clearly.
I'm still playing.
Ah, yes, it is you.
Alright, I'll be right back.
Well, while he's repairing, would anyone like to do anything in this weirdly sort of kind of partially lit room?
I will discern. Oh, what do you want to do, Crow?
Well, first, wait. How many passages are there here? Can
there
you tell?
doesn't look to be any, and it's hard to discern in the darkness. It's hard to discern if there are any. It just looks like a big metal box room. Looks to be 20 feet tall and maybe about 15 feet wide. It's not as wide as it is tall, but it is quite tall.
So it's still really dark and you can't really see anything, right?
You can make out a little bit, but it doesn't. You don't see immediately. You don't see anything that you recognize as a door or any kind of hallway or opening.
Okay. So with that in mind, I guess the only thing left to do is just examine whatever it is in that chair.
So, walking through this room, it's like every step is just creaking, and like this metal room is just aching from you being in it as you step along underneath your feet. Just the bones of this metal room just crying out to just please stop stepping on me as you walk along, and there is no chance of stealth at all, at least in this particular spot where you're walking. And you approach, and is he back? Is it working? Trying to drag this out a little bit. How is it? He's not spoken yet, so I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, you can make out. The figure appears to be quite tall, 7 to 8 feet, maybe somewhere in there, 7 to 9 feet tall, somewhere in that really, really tall range. And you can see their hands. They don't look normal. It looks like where your pinky would be is like weirdly longer than all the other fingers, and then it's like their hands look almost backwards. Like their index fingers are smaller and their outside fingers are longer. And their skin, this person's skin is just ashy and gray and dark. And his head is like large and round, and it looks like something's hanging from his face. Yeah.
What the? I want to try to roll discern realities or something.
Go for it.
I think we've all agreed here. Roman is afraid of the supernatural, but when it comes to something he can touch, he's just like beat. I'm gonna roll discern realities.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 13.
Jeez, 3 questions.
And I fixed it. Alright.
There we are. Okay. Roman is asking 3 questions from discern realities.
Yeah, you got back here just in time before I asked.
You see a ashy gray-skinned character with, it looks to be between 7 and 9 feet tall. It's really big. You can't tell because they're sitting.
Well,
Dark robes.
what happened before that?
Nothing.
Like,
Just
Okay.
walking through the room, and I was dragging it out. Robes draped down over them, and they're just slouched forward in the chair as I described before. Their head is quite large, and then it looks like something's hanging down from their face. But it's shaded because of the light and the stuff in the room, so you can't really, it's hard to tell. But this is what you see right now. And they have funky hands, like reversed, like their pinky is longer and their index fingers are shorter, and everything's like kind of weirdly different. What are your questions, Roman?
That's a bit odd.
What here is not what it appears to be?
You have yourself never seen one of these before. I'll say that's sufficient because you're probably going to figure out what this is through your questions. So I'll leave that question there.
So far, I mean, I've got a speculation, but I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure you'll know what this is right away.
Maybe. But, alright, second question. What happened here recently?
Absolutely nothing.
Wow.
This is old.
This is old as fuck. Okay.
Recent is a funny joke.
What's recent?
What is about to happen?
If there were bells hung inside of Roman's head that were alarm bells, they're all going off. All of a sudden it hits you. This is a fucking mind flayer. Which you've only heard about from other adventurers in Restfjord.
I pull out my bat and my shield, and I just go back as far as I can until I'm in the doorway. Fucking get back, guys. This isn't fucking. Come on, get back, please, listen to me. I am begging. I'm not asking. I'm begging. Get away from that fucking throne.
Okay then.
So everyone backs up.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so everyone backing away. As you're backing away, as Roman's finished his final just begging you, as he's finished his final words, and the three of you back up with Roman. The figure begins to rouse a bit, and you see it move slightly. You don't really hear any noise from it directly in front of you. You hear it kind of all around you. And you see the eyes open, and you just see two yellow dots in the darkness around this silhouette. A very large person. And you just see it turn its head. And it looks at Trelawney. And it looks all the way back over, and it looks at you, Umbra. The other two standing in between, and you just... Now deep within your mind, and yet coming from all around you at the same time, you hear... And what have you brought before me? Who approaches my greatness? Are you food after all this time? I've waited millennia for something to eat.
Roman is shivering.
Should I shoot it?
The question is, what does he eat? Will something different happen if we perhaps give him rations?
He don't eat that kind of food. That's a mind flayer.
I've never heard of this thing, so...
And then you just see it kind of just fall back in his chair a bit. I've lost the taste for mines some time ago. Too old.
So that's what he eats.
I cannot move enough to devour the flesh mortals anymore. Who are you? And what do you want? Did you disturb my slumber?
Why are you here?
And he kind of leans forward again. I was in a great battle long ago. I lost miserably. I flew my ship down and hid it
Under the surface, as the gods battered the planet and wiped out my people. I was lucky, but injured.
And he kind of holds up his arm in his robe, and it's just fucking just gone. It's just like, instead of being like gooey and like bad like a wound would be, he's been here for so long that you see like bones in weird places, but bones sticking out that are like, they look like they're covered in ash and dust, and like he has been here for a long time. Even Trellor's eyebrows are up, and he's kind of looks at this thing. He says, "You're from before. Great battle, you say?" I don't know much about that history that long ago, but you're saying you're quite old. And he looks at you three and he says, "This is over 7,000 years old. Maybe more."
Wait, you mean gods actually fought on the ground?
We came here to conquer. And we did. We enslaved the minds of those here. And the gods rebelled. They were sore losers in our eyes. And they began to batter the planet and strike our ships out of the skies and ended us.
Oh, that's a funny way of putting it.
It was a massacre. It was not funny.
And he kind of looks around.
Not necessarily what I meant.
How many years has it been for you? Do you know? Do you hold the years to tell me?
According to Treller over here, 7,000.
He kind of looks around.
I see. I sense evil intentions in this world, different from my own. I wish to feed. This wishes to destroy. I don't like it. You know, I haven't fed in so long. As this pointy-eared one says, for 7,000 years, I have gone without food.
And he begins to rise up.
I throw my shield.
And
Immediately.
as you're reeling back to throw your shield, he gets up and begins to lean forward, and he gets a little bit of like the mantis hands, and he's,
I was out to devour on fresh flesh.
and he darts forward, and he kind of like trips and falls down on one knee as your shield kind of bashes off of his head, and he's
You know, to this, the youth, to feed.
and falls forward more, and he puts one hand on the ground.
Would you end me? Please. Cannot go on in this slumber any longer. So long apart from the elder brain. Long.
There's actually a bit of like sadness in his voice for a thing that you know is so dangerous. You just watched it try to jump up, and it got like 3 steps and then fell down like an old man trying to sprint for the first time in 30 years. It's almost pathetic in a way.
Ouch.
Roman's gonna look over at Trellor, still kind of shivering, even after he got his shield back after hitting this sad old man. He's like,
His eyebrow is still raised, and he kind of looks at you, and he kind of gives you a head shake, and he's not really
What
saying
do-
anything.
What do we do? I know this is history, but every alarm in my head is screaming, and just get rid of it.
I would give my dagger, but I'm not going near that thing.
Exactly. If it's a mind flayer, then exactly would be a good idea.
This all is beyond me.
You gotta pick up a book, Crow. These things are scary.
That's not what I meant.
So do you think it's pyrotechnic week?
And you see it like, it seems to rouse slightly again. It kind of gets up and begins, it looks almost like it's crawling towards that throne thing with its arm kind of shriveled up at its side. It's like slowly making its way back up there. Kind of like gets up to the steps and he's up. Slowly works his way back into the chair and he's,
You will not end me. We'll find those who will. Leave. You do not wish to kill me. Go.
and then between like you and Crow, Roman, a circle alights similar as the floor did, and it just kind of lights up suddenly in a circle. And then it begins to lift, to shake slightly and lift a bit. And then a light comes from the ceiling above you in the same manner, circle of light, and then it opens. And then a bunch of dust and dirt falls on your head. And then you can see sky a little bit. Is everyone going to jump on?
Alright, Crow, I know you said this is beyond you, but do you want to take a shot?
I shoot a bolt of lightning at it.
Oh.
See, that would require you getting within reach, which is spear's length. Being the range of your gauntlets.
Exactly.
Well,
So just confirming before you do that.
again. I confirmed. I asked him, "Are you sure you want to die?"
Yes. And me. I have nothing left here. My people are mostly gone. I am one of a few left, I'm sure. And me.
So...
I understand. So...
Leans back in the chair and he kind of lays his arms out.
I'm lagging.
I signal for everyone to, like, stay back, try not to get close just in case. And then I just ready an arrow and shoot.
Okay, you reel back, and this is kind of one of those moments you pull back, and there's just that moment of thought. Kind of freeze for a second, and then release. And it, goes kind of up between where your nose and lip would be, but just above his tentacles, writhing from his face. And, he doesn't even react. It hits him, and he just kind of leans back in the chair and just... And then, like, the sound out of in your head kind of ends suddenly. Gnat flying around my face. And then, he kind of just ceases moving. And he gets very still and slumps slightly more in the chair, slowly goes down. As that platform that you and Roman are standing on begins to shake slightly, and I'm guessing because Umbra's having problems, he jumps on the platform as well as Trelor. Begins to lift up, and you can see, confirming now, getting a little bit higher up in the room on this weird platform thing, you can see up, and it is sky. It's night. It's not night sky, but day sky, like blue outside. So you would assume that this is probably taking you up and out. And it does. And you rise up to the top, and you are now back outside of this very strange moment for you all to experience.
Well, that was an unexpected...
Of any story that you've all ever heard, especially for Roman, I've never really heard anything quite like this. This will be a tale to tell.
Crow, you killed a mind flayer. You're like a legend now.
That's
Look at you go! And Roman just pats him on the back with his metal hand, just to.
One of those.
Just
It's
here's
not,
the
no
rattling
regular
bones.
back slap. It's a redneck back slap. It hurts.
Especially with a
Even to
metal
you,
hand
Crow.
too.
It's
Just
like
hear
it
the
stings
bones
for some
crack.
reason.
you hear like a bone crack, and then I'm like, ugh. And then you see me have to push my shoulder back into place.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
Dolores, like,
I
got the
forget I'd say you're all
1,000-yard
skin
stare.
and bones, but minus the skin.
Just be glad I didn't do it. I probably would have broken it.
Or electrocuted him.
That too.
Dolores just like wide-eyed. He's like, that was the stuff of nightmares. I do not wish to see anything like that again, though I'm assuming we probably will. Just not of that particular nature. And he kind
How's
of
the
looks over
slime,
the
by the
horses
way?
and he looks back in the direction that you're supposed to be going and he says, in light of nightmare fuel, shall we?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
Yes, let's move on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hope my horse falls, y'all, because I might end up taking a nap from this whole ordeal.
Careful
Hopefully.
not to have a nightmare.
Let's- That's rad.
So, you actually look at y'all like looking back over your shoulder, kind of in the direction that you came from versus where you came up out of the ground. You actually see the ground like, you see like a rock that was near the hole kind of rolls over and then you see the ground fill in a little bit and like you just see a hole disappear. Now there's just kind of like a sunken area in the ground. As well as where you came up out of the ground, out from there. Same thing, like a rock rolls in, another one, and some more dirt, and it just kind of fills in, and is now just kind of a sunken spot. And, no sign of really anything ever having been there. And, you continue to ride on. And it's been an interesting few days for you all. And this would have been about a day after having left the village. And another 2 nights, and according to what you'd been told by some of the passersby and people in the city, you should be getting very, very close. So,
Can I do a rune roll?
I say, rising up in the camp and on this final morning, headed to Hundurbiri. Would anyone like to do anything to prepare?
Well, you know my answer.
Prepare being the key word.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to prepare. What about y'all?
I would like to try my new ability, actually.
Ooh, I want
If
to see.
that's what I can do.
Let me...
Roman stops paying
With
attention
your
to his
balancing,
rock.
of course, because we haven't actually.
Okay, yeah, I will have
So you don't
to...
make it-
Wait, I don't need that. Actually, I already have something open that I can use. This is right there.
Just to, like, see.
Where is it? There it is. Okay. So remember, this is determined by the fact that you will have a flame to manipulate. So there has to be one there. I'm not saying that you can't use this. Obviously, you can. It is very usable, but you have to have the flame there. Just clarifying.
Would the electricity in my armor count?
Well, he could make sparks. Is that big enough?
If your little arcs that came from your shocking punches resulted in a flame, then yes.
Well, see, the question
But I'm
was if I
talking
could
like there's
use
got to be like a
electricity
campfire or a
to fight.
torch or a lit brazier or something, or a sconce or something. There's got to be a lantern. Some sort of flame has to be around.
Okay, so I cannot replace the use of fire with electricity. I have to use fire.
There needs to be a fire going.
Okay, then I'm.
That is like the main thing of this particular move.
Yes.
Because for that particular class, it's I don't even remember which one it is.
I ain't got no fire rune, so I don't know how to help you.
Oh, burning brand is what? No. Yeah, burning brand is the one that where you like actually make a flame, but it's a flame weapon.
Yes.
It might be a good idea to carry sticks with you or something, so you can light those on fire with your electricity.
Yeah. Now remember, if you have adventuring gear in your inventory, or somebody else does, they'll have torches or matches or something to light things, or oil or whatever seems to be convenient.
Yeah,
convenient
I was going
within
to
reason.
suggest that earlier when we were there underground. I was going to say, can I just pull out a torch?
Actually,
That's what the adventuring gear is for. That's what it's there for.
I do not have
I
adventuring
picked
gear.
this ability with the assumption that I may be able to throw quests using electricity instead of fire. If that is not the case, I should probably...
Well, like I said,
find something else.
it wouldn't come from it wouldn't work with your electricity. It would work with fire, just fire. But creating fire is not as difficult as it would seem. Me
Yes,
saying that
sure.
just means that you, like, before you do anything with this, you may need to have a torch out, or some kind of lantern or something,
Yes.
something to burn that you can pull fire from.
Okay. Interesting.
And your limitations are around how much you can pull out of that. I hate to make the reference, but you know, within the probably the parameters of the M. Night Shyamalan fucking Avatar: The Last Airbender bullshit. There's got to be a little bit of fire there and stuff left to burn for you to pull from it.
Yes. All
But
right.
there's some boundaries there, but it is a very good move. It does not go without mentioning. It is a very, very good move.
I see. Actually, what was the other playbook? You actually recommended me a playbook. Let me.
Yes, the Arcane Blade work from the Arcane Duelist.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So you would select 4 techniques, and you would also take on the move Arcane Blade work. Which means when you hit something, depending on the success or whatever, you can apply a technique which will do a very specific thing. And you have a repertoire of 4 to start.
That's nice. Okay. That is not the place sheet I was looking for. Oh boy. There it is. Arcane Duelist.
Is Crow gonna do anything before setting out on this final day of a little bit of travel? While he's
Actually,
picking
I was
stuff
thinking
out.
about having Mushi scout around for us, just to check our surroundings before.
Gonna roll around. Okay. I was about to call for a roll, but I forgot his stuff is different. Just roll 2d6 and then add his cunning.
Okay. $11? Yes, 11.
Ask me 3 questions that pertain to maybe something that Mushi would be looking for rolling around. So think of this as like what Mushi sees and what Mushi thinks. Which Mushi is relatively simple, but is intelligent enough to, you know, obviously to look around. You asked him to and he did it.
Yeah. Well, I guess I would have him specifically look for any people nearby, or structures, or anything that seems to particularly stand out to him.
Okay, so the 3 questions. So this is discern realities, by the way. I don't know if I clarified that. So that clarity from the list. Give me some questions. You have 3 questions. Because you rolled an 11.
Okay. Let me see it again. I always forget what all the questions are.
And Roman, be preparing your rune roll and, all the details and all that. We'll come back around to it. Do you have everything you need, Umbra?
Hold on. Yeah, I think I actually will use Arcane Woodwork, because I can do some crazy crap with this.
Yeah, like I said, down at the bottom,
Like,
just scroll down there to techniques and pick out 4 of them. You don't necessarily have to write them out right now. Just write down which ones they are so that you can go back to them to reference. But yeah, it's a very good move. You just simply... It's exactly the same as a normal hit, except you get to add something to it, so... Fancier. Very cool.
Yeah.
For some of it, it actually kind of fits.
Yeah.
So, do you have your questions, Crow? Mushi's questions.
What should I be on the lookout for?
So, as you said, you're looking for people, structures, something. He does spot... He comes back and he does mention that he's spotted some patrols, rolling along a hill quietly. He did spot patrols a few miles away. Not sure how many, but a few. As well as he did see a structure. What else?
What here is useful or valuable to me?
He didn't see... It didn't look like there was like an army. It just looked like a few. At least from what he could see where he was. It didn't look like a ton. To you, he kind of relays it as like just a few. Enough to patrol. Third question?
What is about to happen?
A big fight.
Oh.
Less of a question for Mushin and more of just kind of like, after he answers your questions, you just kind of like stare out a little bit. And it's just, there's a big fight coming. And, we'll come around to Roman. Roman, what are you doing with your rune magic today?
I think you know exactly what I'm going to try to do again. I'm going to pick up a couple of rocks and see what happens.
Well, crikey, pick up them rocks and show me what you got. What do you have?
Oh god, here we go.
He's gonna get snake eyes again.
Don't curse me! Oh, I need to sit up for this. Hang on, I'm kind of leaning back.
Sit
I
up.
need to be...
Think about it. Put your brain power into it.
He's gonna be in try-hard mode.
Don't roll till you know it's good. Just give it the time.
That's gonna be a 13.
There it is,
Ooh.
like I said. Yep.
Good roll.
Now I got a question. Am I doing this to just one rock, or like maybe like 1 or 2 or 3 or something? Because I mean, it's a rock.
What sounds reasonable with the effect that this will have?
Roll a d4.
All right, roll a d4.
Got a 2.
Okay,
That'll
so
do.
what
Pick up a couple of rocks
specifically will the effect be of these when they affect?
They will be dealing damage, so
Okay.
that'll be they'll be dealing damage specifically because
Area of effect damage specifically, or
I don't know.
are they direct target? You throw it at a specific target and it hits it, and then that happens.
Actually, I don't think it. I don't know if you know the glyphs. Once a trigger. You know, it doesn't say anything about area of effect.
Okay. So
But
I will say.
They just deal damage, so.
Okay, so we can say if you manage to hit a couple of things that are close together enough to, maybe get sucked into it, you can hit. It's because it sounds like it's maybe being what it is. It is intended to hit and affect a target, one singular, and has a lot of problems for that one individual target. But I'll say if they are close enough together, We managed to do that, and it might affect 2 of them. But we will deal with that when it comes to it. For now, we'll just say singular target. If you get a lucky situation, maybe 2. How does that sound?
Nice. I've got 2 awesome rocks.
And keep in mind, when you volley, you will have to take the consume ammo by default, because this is like you've only made a specific select few of these, because it would take time to actually sit and make a bunch of them.
It's fine by me. I assume when the rune activates, I'm not gonna have a rock to pick up. So.
Making sure we're fucking with runes here, so this is some delicate shit.
This is some shit that Roman was conjugating in his mind, and just like seeing the sparks happen. It was just so careful. He was like,
have you finished meditating with the gauntlets?
The answer is no.
That was good. That was great timing. I knew that. Getting ready to go into the biggest boss fight of the mini campaign, and he's gone.
Can't wait for this fight, guys. All right, see ya.
That was fun. That was great. We'll wait for him to speak, because his confirmation will be the last thing we need before we move on.
Okay, I seem to have fixed it.
In the meantime, I relay to the rest of the party the information that I've attained from Mushi.
There's some bad guys in the castle, and there's not a bunch of them. There's not like an army. Essentially what he relays.
And so we have a decision to make. Yeah, and we have a decision. Either we go headlong and fight, and see what happens, or we try and avoid them and play it sneaky-like. However, I don't think anyone likes to do the stealth thing, so...
Stealth is kind of my thing.
I ain't good. I ain't good at stealthing.
Honestly, I feel like you two just kind of throw yourselves in that crap and then see what happens.
I guess I didn't fix it. Makes it even better.
So you sound clear on my end.
I'm just gonna freaking close Discord.
Sound clear on my end.
Well, while he is repairing Discord, do you guys have any... Do you guys want to make a plan of some kind to go into this? Place to start.
Oh, you know what? Actually, he has a point. For once, we actually have time to plan an attack rather than just go and
I'm giving you the
blazing.
opportunity. You'll probably want to try and at least, minor plan. This is your first, big deal fight going on here.
Wow.
We could do a stealth entrance.
Real quick, could you possibly set up mines as, like your runes as like mines or anything like that? Do you have like, for example, an explosive rune that can activate when someone steps on it or not?
I'm gonna be real honest. These rocks are damn near close to that. I was hoping to just throw them at somebody. I could make a mine if need be.
Because if we do this correctly, we could theoretically take them out all in one go with a giant explosion. If we can somehow lead them to some place that has a trap, and then just take the majority of them out in one go. Or at the very least a handful, even if they're cautious and they try to send scouts out just to see.
That could be. Yeah, we could try to lure them out, and then I could try to make a runes of some kind. I've got some... It's not explosive magic, but it's more like magic that's not supposed to happen. Kind of like if you're making a potion and you throw in the wrong ingredients, and then shit goes haywire, and then all of a sudden there's just fire in the neighborhood. That kind of deal. I mean, I've got a few interesting glyphs I've been learning. I could throw some lightning mines if need be. I could try to make a combination rune very similar to these rocks. I could try to. See, I know I've got something in my head. Force and gravity. I could try to make a mine that just forces them up and then makes them weightless, so they just fly up. How does that sound? Does that sound cool? I don't know. That might not work.
Well, as long as we can get rid of a handful, it doesn't really matter how, to be fair.
Trello looks up
Alright.
and
So-
says, I might have one way that I can get rid of a few of them with said fiery explosion, but I don't have many other ways. Most of my
Ooh.
magic would be helpful to you all.
If you can get rid of them with fire explosions, maybe it would help if we could get them to stand in one spot. I'm thinking I can use a gravity glyph to just make them
Hold them to one spot.
to make them heavy and to just stick them into the ground. That's something I could do. That's something that doesn't seem like it'll blow up my face.
That
Nah,
would just allow us to do whatever we wanted, which would be even better than what I was thinking.
What do you think, Trelor? Do you think you could be able to pull that off and just blow some ne'er-do-wells up?
I would be delighted.
Okay, so
I can
where do you
also,
think?
within my repertoire, I can make someone very fast, invisible, and I can also make a big, like I did in that village, a dome of darkness. Maybe block some eyes.
The speed and invisibility could help you,
Oh,
Roman, so you
back.
can get in and put that glue where you want.
The thing is,
Speed.
though, hold on to the spells. I cannot. I can't target you with anything else if I've given you speed. So once you have the speed and you are faster, that's all I can do. And
Speed's all I need. I don't care about being seen.
also within my repertoire, if need be, I have the ability to. And he looks at you, Crow, and he says, I can specifically set your arrows on fire. And they will stay on fire as long as I keep them that way. And I can make something larger or smaller. And I can make a sort of a sandstorm, but like a wall. At the same time.
Wait a second. How large could you make an object?
Just depends on its original size.
My arrows, for example.
It would be about double.
Hmm.
But the problem is,
Maybe.
it has to be a creature. It has to be a person.
Oh, I see.
How about this?
Well, how many of them were there? Does Mushi know? Like an approximate amount, at least.
Approximation. Mushi kind of bubbles and farts at you, and he just not certain, around 20-ish.
Around 20. Okay.
But that's just from a guess
So-
of like how many were patrolling, and then like the couple that he may have seen on the wall. So like roundabout.
Okay. So I think we can have Roman go in and use his gravity glyph that he was talking about. Try and keep them in place. But if that happens to fail, since his glyphs sometimes don't work as intended, then we're gonna need another plan. I could try and harass them with arrows, or we could use your smoke cloud thing to try and give them a safe way to get out without getting bombarded by 20 of them.
Perhaps I can
Ah.
sneak in from somewhere else. Maybe
Flanking maneuver, that would be
flank. Exactly.
a good idea paired with. Yes.
I may not look
Well,
it, but
we
I'm
make
supposed
a
to look
plan
at
to
stuff.
create a sort of explosion or whatever it is that we want to do. Umbra could sneak around, and once the explosion has happened, he could use that beneficially to start taking out some of the stragglers. Maybe even open the gate, depending on where he is.
I'm getting deja vu from the Star Wars stream now.
Alright, so let's try the explosion first. If it fails, then our priority is to get everyone out. So we'll use your smoke cloud to try and give them an opportunity to escape. But if it works, then this is going to be very easy.
Right, let's try to... How are we gonna make this explosion? You want me to make my explosive rune or my gravity rune, and he can cause the explosion?
I think we're going to focus on your gravity rune, because even if your gravity rune works, but the explosion fails, we could still take advantage of your gravity rune.
Now, the problem for me is I can either make someone fast. Among the other things that I can do, I can still make the explosion due to some of my abilities, but the speed, I can either make someone fast, I can light your arrows on fire, I can make the sandstorm, or I can make something larger or smaller. Amongst those, I can only do one. If so, I need to know before we go down, because it will take me some time to prepare that.
Okay. I'll leave that up to Roman, because I don't specifically need anything there. I was just curious to see if I could make things easier.
Well, I'm sure at least one of you knows this, but if someone is gravely injured and cannot heal themselves, I could heal them. But
Yes, I do not possess any healing power.
costs.
I've got my healing runes on my fingers.
I do have 3 healing potions, though. If anyone does need one.
We'll save those as a last resort.
I actually have not used my healing potions. I think I have 4.
I think we'll be fine, but if anyone gets injured, then we'll deal with it when it happens.
Yeah, I'm supposed to have like 4.
We should be okay, however.
Maybe.
So, Roman, do you want the speed or whatever? I'm not sure what you will need.
Well, the decision seems to
As
be
long
up
as
to you,
you're able
Roman.
to
What
get into
spell
it.
would you like me to have ready for you? Would you like to be incredibly fast? Would you like a sandstorm in the shape of a wall?
Okay, so
Or to be someone in the party to be extremely large? I need pointed them to make them large.
I need to lure them out with a group, just going over there and then setting my gravity rune down, and then I need to get out. So an explosion, you can cause an explosion.
Yes, I can.
So I might need the speed so I can get out of there in time, and in case something goes
I like
wrong,
this.
I can still activate my rune, and then just get them to stay still.
I
and
do
then we
warn
can
you,
go ham on them.
when I do inevitably end this spell, you will feel extremely tired for a few moments. It is incredibly taxing once the spell ends, but it only is brief. It is not a permanent condition, it is only but a few moments. You will need to rest before we do anything else after that.
I trust y'all can watch my back while I take a breather from the spell, and then I can watch y'all's once I'm back in the game.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
Is that a plan? We have a plan?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I say we. Do you have a plan? Trelor's just here to help.
If all else fails, we could try frightening.
If all else fails,
yeah, I
I'm
think
throwing
this'll
a
work.
fucking rock.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
I
say,
think
because if
this'll
this
work,
doesn't work,
because the
we
plan
could
is to-
frighten them very well. And it would be
Because
nice.
we're just trying to stun them so that it would be easier to take them out all in one go, and whatever's left over, me and Umbra can deal with. But if that doesn't work, then we'll just try and create some sort of distraction so that we can get Roman out.
Distraction. Crow. How's your Dread Pirate impression?
Say again?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
What?
I did not hear
very
it.
thing.
I didn't hear it either.
Don't you dare.
Crow. How was your Dread Pirate impression?
Say no.
Red pirate?
Say no.
I'm not gonna.
Say yes.
No,
Say yes.
just don't.
Put the gate key!
No.
Okay. After the Dread Pirate Roberts dies horribly at the front gate of the castle, how do you all begin to execute your plan? Who wants to start?
Okay, before I have speed casted on me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go to Crow, since he's good at shooting things. I can assume he's good at throwing things. I only need one of these bad boys. I'm gonna say, Crow, take this rock. And I'm just gonna hand him one of my rocks, one of my 2 rocks,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna say, if all else fails, This is just if you see a couple just a couple guys you can throw this at. The last resort, toss this at them.
I'm gonna do you guys a favor. I'm breaking
hand
out
him
my
a rock.
dice. I'm breaking out my special dice. Because I've been using my Oogie Boogie dice for NPCs or whatever.
Oh, those are cool.
But I'm breaking out my dice for you guys for Trellor. So, thank me later.
Thank me later.
I've got my Dollar Tree root beer dice.
If you didn't get a very good look at it,
Usual.
it's them there. They're hash marks instead of anything else. Okay, so Roman, you're getting ready. So
Yeah, I hand Crow a rock, and I don't tell him what it does. I just say, throw this when you think the time is right, and then I.
in your inventory, write rock with a mark on it.
Yep.
So just rock.
Rock question
Yep.
mark.
That's all I did was I just typed in rock.
All right,
Uh,
Trellor, cast speed. I'm ready.
All right,
I have my
Where's
4
the
techniques down. This should help us
let's
stuff.
hope he holds out.
Still got a lot of
Snake
dice.
eyes. Please don't tell me you got snake eyes.
No, I
Please.
fucking dropped one of my dice somewhere, and I.
Close
Roman.
enough.
I will.
Hang on.
Okay. since
Wait,
this
wait,
is-
hang on. I got it. I got more dice. Hold up.
So
I can
he has
actually do
succeeded.
that.
However, he has taken condition from this list, and I will ask you guys what you will prefer because this is he's here to help you guys and try and help get through this. So his options are he can draw unwelcome attention accidentally through casting speed, or in this case it's called haste, on Roman. He can disturb the fabric of reality, taking a -1 to his intelligence so that he's not as good at casting next time he casts. Or he can cast a spell and it works and everything goes fine, but he will forget this spell for the rest of until he prepares spells against, until he sits down and reads from his spellbook.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So wait, the attracting unwanted attention.
Mhm.
How does that work exactly?
You draw unwelcome attention or put yourself in a spot is the specific wording. So meaning something would happen and people would probably see, and people that you would not want to see.
We're currently
Um,
trying to stay out
this-
of a spot.
Actually, that could work, drawing unwanted attention, because if you get your rune out there and we get people to everyone go towards the rune.
See, the thing is, it's when he casts this spell that it will draw unwelcome attention.
We don't want him casting to be his first cast to be the explosion.
So this is like we're in pause
I'm
right
trying
now.
to run here.
We're in
Well,
freeze frame of
actually-
him like touching. He's touching Roman on the shoulder, and it's like frozen there while we're discussing this. So,
Hey, I have a
metagaming
question.
here. Which one do you guys want to take? Or want
Does
him to take?
does your rune affect everyone, regardless of friend or foe?
I have never been that specific. I could not tell. I don't know. Your
Because
your
'cause we could-
your little tomahawk works for me and you. It'd probably work for Umbra, so maybe I could specify it. I'm not sure.
I'm only saying, because like if you were to use this gravity rune that you're talking about, if you were to use it right here with all of us right here, would it affect us too? That's what I'm getting at.
Can I? What do I
So
got to
you
roll
would probably
to
know
figure
that
that
it
out?
wouldn't. It probably wouldn't. You know, it would probably not have that kind of range. Nothing short of a dragon would have any sort of ability like that with the primordial magics and runes. At least, like a gravity rune affecting you guys that far away would be very unlikely.
No, I just mean like right here where we are. Like,
No,
because
yeah,
let's say
no.
we were to attract
If
their
we were
attention
in
and
the-
he put one right there where he's standing, would it affect everyone, including us and who we're trying to get?
Well, it wouldn't activate until he activates it. It would have to. He would have to like. So he has to activate it with a thought in order for it to affect anything. It wouldn't do
Like,
anything to you guys.
I can activate it with a thought when something happens, or
Yeah, his runes have
Like
like
I-
specific triggers.
they have specific triggers.
Yeah.
There's a
but they
whole
don't-
section.
Yeah, I
that's
know
like-
that.
They-
I'm just saying, like,
they
let's
don't
say
have-
if we were in, let's just say that like they were brought over here towards us, that our targets, right? and he had the rune here, and because of the downside of the spell, and this is why I'm specifically saying, and they came this way towards us, and the rune was there on the floor or wherever the Roman wants to use it, so that we could stun them. Once he activates it, it would affect everyone within its range, right? Regardless of whether they're an ally to him or not.
Theoretically, you could try and clock it when he does it and try to get out of what you would see as possible range.
Okay, so what's the purpose of talking about what his runes can do?
So he's inscribing a rune on a rock that's going to pull in as many people as...
Actually, I can't. It says I can spend time carving a rune onto a workable surface. This will be an instant rune. Actually, no, this might be ongoing. Oh fuck.
Problem after problem.
Fellers, I got bad news. This might. If it's instant, I can make it just quickly get them down.
I would balance this and say, in Roman's mind, this what would come to you would be like, this would probably... A rune this powerful would probably have to only work as an instant, because trying to make it an ongoing thing, you would need an incredible amount of time to spend on a rune like that.
I would need literally an hour to
you would need like a day maybe to make a rune that powerful.
But
as for like quickly preparing for something, you could do the same thing, but it won't last nearly as long.
Sorry, fellas, I can't make my rune quicken, so this will just have to be
pull in
real
a couple
quick.
of them for an extended period of time, or a bunch of them really quickly for a short period of time.
I can still do this. Don't worry.
Get close to throw the rock, so that the rune will work, and then right after it works, we're gonna have to set off the explosion because they won't be able to move only for a few moments.
Theoretically, the distance is traveled. Trello will be ready to make explodey. I will say, considering that you're probably sitting on a hilltop discussing this, like looking at the castle, I will give you your present for tonight. So that you guys can plan a little bit. As well as the stream. I will pull it up here as well.
I just want to say, if I have haste, and then I can make this instant rune in a second, I just run around real quickly, scribble some shit into the ground, and then we just gotta run.
The layout there.
It will affect us all. It will affect all of us.
The layout there is the courtyard where all that brown and dirt and stuff is. So what you can see is the wall and a little bit of the ground inside. You can just see and you can, this distance, not much detail, but you can see, a bit of movement. But there is your dungeon, and be mindful, your characters don't know where everything is.
This dungeon is massively zoomed in for some reason when I look at it, and I don't know why I can't unzoom it. Oh, well.
Yeah, the left side is your first floor in your courtyard. The right side is your second floor, which you are obviously not to yet. Neither are you inside on the first floor. You're just experiencing the outside of the wall.
Wait, what are we talking about?
The image I put in Discord.
Is it on Discord?
Yeah, I just put it in Discord. That's what I was talking about. I guess I didn't make it.
I didn't.
I got it. I've been looking at it.
I did not get it. I went straight to your stream just so I could see it.
Oh, I sent it to Shark. What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, he sent it to me. I'm wondering.
My bad.
I was like, wait, I can't see this.
That's my bad.
Only you can see the plan.
I had switched because we were talking about multi-class abilities.
Holy flip! There's some messed up looking things on this floor plan here.
I want to see the floor plan.
Should be there now. Oh, it's uploading. Hang on. God. Just fucking go.
That's a lot of bodies. Just saying.
Alright, so
that's a whole lot of bodies.
So where are we on this little map?
Within reason, do you know what your characters can see? Right now you're just seeing mostly the outer wall and a little bit of movement.
The outer wall near the courtyard?
So we're at the courtyard, right? On the outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me see this.
So where you're facing is that darker gray front gate. There is what you can see.
So if I were to sneak in, where would I have to do that
from? You would have to find some kind of part where you could crawl up a wall or something like that, quietly hidden. Maybe tuck in like some of the
So wait
little
a second.
rolls in the hills.
Those stairwells look like they could possibly be towers. Would it be possible to scale one of those?
I would say roll Defy Danger Dexterity for go and stealth, and we'll get this started. What do you got, Crow?
All right then.
So wait.
Mm-hmm.
Where exactly are our targets here in that courtyard?
You can't see necessarily into the courtyard, but up on the top of the wall, they're to the left and the right of the gate there. So that the gate being in the middle of that darker gray part of the wall.
I rolled a 7.
You roll a 7. Okay.
Yes. 36 plus dex. Yeah, that is the 7.
So
Keep getting trash rolls today.
you have successfully snuck over there, but you're really not, like, you're hidden and no one has seen you, but you're just not finding a way to climb up there. Just like you can't seem to find something. It's like infinitely frustrating.
Could I perhaps see, I have serrated on my gauntlets because they are clawed. They have claws. Could I perhaps use them to scale the building? I mean, tower.
Let's say, since it is not smooth stone on the tower, and you could probably crawl along that wall as well, because the stone of the building is not entirely smooth either. Yeah, give me a Defy Danger Strength, because this is just like pure strength of just mashing your fucking blades, like your serrated blades on your gauntlets into the wall to try and climb along it. Considering it's not a part of their...
Oh, what the hell? Okay.
The dice tell a story.
2d6 plus strength?
Yep.
Well... 6?
Oh.
Mark XP. It starts out okay, and you're climbing well, and everything seems to be fine. And you get pretty close to your goal, and your gauntlet slips out and makes quite the fucking racket of rocks falling and a lot of noise. And you do see... They don't quite see you yet, but they will soon. Ainol turns their head up on the top of the wall, bow in hand, and is like looking around. Roman and Crow, as well as Trellor, what are you guys doing while this is like taking place?
Haste, gravity rune.
Yeah, you're already hasted, so everybody's moving like 0.5 slower than you.
Alright, cool. I guess I'm just gonna start drawing. I can draw my rune on a workable surface, so I can just bend
You'll
over.
be able to do this in
just,
5 minutes rather than 10.
Yeah, I can just stick my hand in the ground and start running around and carving this.
Okay, so where are you carving this at?
I assume we're gonna do it outside the front gate, so we can get them to run out.
I'll be right back.
Okay, I will consider a success on rune magic your success at being stealthy enough to do this. So give me rune magic, and let's see what happens.
Oh fuck.
Your time being cut in half because of the haste. So you're not just standing there like a dunce for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm trying to climb the tower.
Oh, thank God. That's just gonna be that's just a 12.
Oh, okay, yeah, success. It works out.
Trellor just sees me. Trellor and Crow just see me like stick my finger in the ground and just start like running at a weird angle, and I'm just like spinning in circles, making all these like complicated runes and glyphs, and every time I connect some lines, it turns purple.
Yeah, you guys just are like looking down the hill, and you can see him like riding. I don't remember what movie it's in, but I've seen a couple of movies where like a character's riding at a ridiculous speed that doesn't make sense, and you're just like, what? Whoa! Because he's going like double the speed of normal, and he just scribbles this in. What do you do after you scribble this in and you successfully get it down, and you are not seen?
All right, cool. I'm gonna run back to where Trellor and Crow are, and this rune is gonna be activated when I'm gonna do the classic. I'm just gonna snap, and then as soon as it happens, they're gonna be weighed down for however long it'll last.
Well, I will say,
I'm back.
having not taken, so you see Roman inscribe his thing on the ground successfully. No one actually sees him yet, and he begins to take off and go back towards the party and get ready to activate his thing and activate the full plan of whatever's the rest of this plan will happen. And
Yes.
as you're going back up the hill to kind of tuck behind some cover, Roman, that is when, not because you were there, but because of, ironically, the speed that you're moving at. This is where the unwelcome attention on the spell comes from. The speed that you're moving at does attract attention from the top of the wall, and a sort of patrol party walking around the left side of the courtyard there, around that curved part of the wall. They do spot you and go, Hey! Who are you? And they start running in your direction.
I'm booking it Captain American style until I get to Crow, or at least until I know when they're on the rune.
Yeah, so as you're running there, how the fuck is he that fast? What the hell?
I flip him the bird.
He just flips him off while he's...
So yeah, Roman Captain America's up to you guys. Now what? Are you ready for Krellor?
I'm waiting for them to get. I'm waiting for them to. As soon as
So
they get
your
on the rune,
success
fellas,
has
I'm
actually
just gonna
helped Umbra. Umbra, you notice that knoll, like, looking for you, he turns his head and he bolts for the front of the wall.
Perfect. So is there any kind of window, even if it's high up, if it's barred, anything like that?
It is on the second floor, but it's pretty high up there, and it doesn't look reachable from where you're at currently. It's pretty far
So,
up.
could I try to climb up there and perhaps...
So it is feasible to get up on the wall now that knoll is
Get
gone. You
through
could
it.
probably climb up there.
Yes. So I assume 2d6.
So that won't even require a roll, because you are almost there. I gave that to you, but what I did give you was that you were spotted slightly, stealth being the needed thing here. So you managed to get bailed out by Roman being spotted. Crow, are you going to do anything in the last final seconds before he activates the gravitai?
There's not really much for me to do besides wait.
Okay, just checking. Roman, whenever you're ready.
Whenever they're on, whenever I just see the most of them on the rune, as soon as they step on it, I just snap.
You do see a couple of them from the patrol kind of go over and go, "Hey, what's this? The fuck is this thing?" It's like, you guys drawing shit in the dirt? I can't read that. What the fuck? And then like, you guys watch as first it hits that guy as he's pointing, and he just drops to the ground and like kind of curls up in a ball all around it in like a way that he can't control. And you watch like 5 of the 7 other gnolls that were like coming after Roman just suddenly drop and start slowly dragging across the ground. And then you watch 3 of them get ripped off the top of the wall, and they're all like bunched up and kind of moving around. Kind of like if you've seen
you ever just have a
Fantastic Beasts 2, where the obscurial, where he's like got the bubble around him, and he's trying to like get to him with all the wood and shit of the house. It's just like going around. They're all around this rock, like just freaking out. And then they relax, and then Charlor takes a deep breath and he goes, and okay. So he rolled a 6, 7, 8. I'm going to take the cop out and make it unwelcome attention because we're already there anyways. And you see him lift up his hand and he goes like this, and it looks like he flicks, and you just see like a little bead. It looks like someone flicked the flaming bead fly through the air, and it's just silent. And it's just nothing. And the little bead kind of goes out of view, and all the gnolls start to get up, and you're like, oh shit, what is it? It failed? Oh my god, oh no. Fucking huge flame, fiery explosion. Gnoll bodies go flying.
I'll be right back.
I get to sneak in for free now, I guess.
Yeah, it is alarming because you were expecting it to fail at that last second there. You're just like, oh no, he whiffed again, and then just fucking huge explosion. Yeah, just.
I was gonna say, if Skull hadn't gone to do something, I've been like, all right, Crow, remember what I said? Forget it, and then throw your rock now. You have better aim than me.
Fortunately, he is AFK.
Yeah, I know. I heard him. He left right before.
Yeah, like right at the perfect time.
I'm gonna stay
Actually, to
behind
stall, we can just cut to what I'm doing during the
Okay,
meantime.
so you're climbing
Sounds
up on
good
the.
to me.
You've climbed up onto the wall. What are you doing now?
Is I check the window? Is it barred or is it just open? What? How do I?
That you can't get up to the window. It's too far up.
I
The
see.
window is like up on the second floor, like it's way up above you. You were able, like I was saying though, is you were able to get up on the wall pretty successfully, no problem. But the window is up on the other side where you were climbing, but further up. It would be extremely difficult for you to get up there,
Nice.
like beyond anything that you have access to at the moment.
Okay, could I perhaps climb around and get on top of their guard wall?
The
If that isn't too high as well.
you're talking about it up at the front,
Yes,
because
close.
that's just
to,
like
yeah.
a series of like towers and stuff. It's not really like up or down necessarily. It's just going around the wall over there sneakily, without being
Yeah.
seen.
Basically, just get up to where the archers are surveying and try to sneak past them.
Hang on, I'm doing math. Okay, so of the gnolls that exploded, there are 5 that get up off the ground, singed and burned, and are very unhappy. Okay, so you're sneaking around the roll. Roll Defy Danger Dexterity again to see if you're able to sneak around properly.
26 plus dex.
And the required mana.
10.
Yeah, you're sneaky enough. You get around over there, and most of the gnolls that were up there got sucked down off of the wall, except for like one that's further over on the other side, closer to that other gargoyle. So you're nearer to the winged gargoyle. This gnoll is closer to the weird dome-shaped looking gargoyle thing.
Can I perhaps sneak behind him and remove him from the situation if he gets?
So you have succeeded enough. I would say go ahead and roll a hack and slash to see if you're able to take this guy out.
Okay, so 2d6 plus 1. 10.
Very good.
And then I
Roll your damage. My pen go. Oh, it's right there.
9.
Yeah. What do you do to this gnoll? How exactly do you get rid of him?
I'm debating on whether or not I should do this sneakily or just freaking throw him off the freaking wall.
Throw him off the wall, make it look like he got sucked in too, just a little bit later than everyone else.
You get sucked in by an explosion. You defied physics.
Implosion.
So
The fireball that just defies all physics.
An
so-
implosive explosion.
I grab him from behind and hold his mouth so he can't make a sound,
Mhm.
and I kick some rocks and bricks off from the top of the wall offwards to make it look like he slipped, and I just freaking chuck him off the wall.
Yeah, and he falls and just hits the ground, breaks his fucking neck. Just there he is. There are now 5 gnolls. Hopefully he comes back pretty quickly. There are now 5 gnolls trying to rush up the hill towards you, kind of like picking up, scraping their weapons up off the ground, and just like kind of picking themselves up. A couple of them start heading that way, and the others start to follow. There's now about 5 of them headed up the hill towards the 3 of you.
Well, there's one of me heading
I'm sorry.
down the hill. How about that?
At least for your side, Roman, what would you like to do about this?
I'm gonna go beat the shit out of the rest of them. They're pretty singed and burned, right?
Okay,
I'm
throws
back.
back. There are about so the gnolls that survived. There's about 5 of them, and they're starting to. You killed about 8 of them instantly with that
Nice.
gravity and fireball combination. But they're like kind of picking themselves up off the ground. They're starting to rush up the hill now. There's about 5 of them, and you watched as Umbra. You saw his head peek up over on the right side of the wall, and then that last gnoll archer just kind of tips off the wall and hits the ground and breaks his neck. But there's now 5 gnolls coming up the hill towards the 3 of you.
Oh, actually, I have a question. Do they have a ballista?
No, they do not. They do have weapons in racks lining the walls, but you don't see any like siege weapons. It looks like they haven't been here for very long.
What kind of weapons do they have there?
Stuff within reason. Clubs, swords,
Swords.
maces, warhammers, stuff like that. Pretty much anything you can imagine, but it's normal weapons. It's nothing crazy yet.
So how many of them are left? You said like 5?
There's 5 of them that you can see at this particular moment rushing up the hill.
Okay, so I just use blot out the sun.
It's,
and
what?
I hit like...
You do a what now?
Blot out the sun.
Oh shit.
Right,
Okay, when
he
you volley, you may
said
spend extra ammo before rolling. For each point of ammo spent, you may choose an extra target. Roll once
So,
and apply
I use
damage
up
to
2.
all targets.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
used 2 ammo, so I hit 3 of them.
Okay, so go ahead and roll volley.
Okay, Legolas. Holy crap.
That's a pretty fucking cool move.
That's
I
a
actually have
9?
not read all of those moves.
This man's
That is a
aim
9,
true.
so choose your condition.
I expend extra ammo.
Yeah,
You're
you're
gonna
just
spend
like
3 ammo.
fucking.
Yep.
So which ammo is this that you're using? Because
Ooh,
I think
baby, a triple.
I just had just normal arrows. I have a whole bundle of 3 that I'm just gonna use the whole bundle of 3.
okay. So mark off 3 ammo and roll damage.
Alright, that's a
Holy
D8,
crap.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 3.
So
I still got that Dreadbard impression.
I am here for your souls.
Oh, perfect. It just freaking screams, "I'm here for your souls," as he's freaking putting arrows in the face.
you said 3, right?
Yeah, it's
Damn, I didn't know he could do that.
His hood's off too, so it actually makes him look scary.
3. Oh god.
Okay, so you guys watch as 3 gnolls take 3 damage, and they each take an arrow in the shoulder or in the stomach, and one of them gets hit in the leg, and they're like kind of falling behind as like 2 more of them rush out ahead. Roman, what would you like to do?
Swing for the fences.
All right, roll hacks and slash.
Hack and slash.
Hacky and
Good.
slashy.
Using my club,
Yes.
because if I didn't, that would be insane.
You ever just play scout?
Oh damn, I forgot. I got a 9 as well.
A 9.
I thought you got another snake eyes for a second. That was frightening.
No, I just remember I was like, I'm wise. I'm not super strong.
Roll your damage.
That would be a D8 plus a D6, my good sir. That's a 2 on the D6, and that's a 6 on the D8, so I do 8 damage total.
Okay, so you rush out and you manage to take out one, but the other one takes a quick strike at you and hits you for 7.
Ooh, damn.
Mm-hmm.
I take 4 damage. Jesus. Alright.
That's a lot for a gnoll.
That's a strong ass gnoll.
Yeah.
How much damage did you say you did? I was doing math.
How much damage did I do?
Yeah.
8.
8. Okay, yeah. No,
And
you
he
killed.
already
You
took
definitely
3.
killed one of them. Would you guys like Trelor to do anything? Otherwise, we'll move on to Umbra.
I can't think of anything in
So he
particular.
does possess minor magic
I'll-
abilities that can damage that aren't just a giant explosion.
I was gonna say, not unless you had my magic missile.
Just
which
do
could
another
help.
giant
Yeah,
explosion.
he does have just that. If you want him to cast it.
Magic missile. What do you think, Crow?
Sure, I mean, why not?
Okay,
Jeller. Fire!
He gets up and he takes like
Shooting him like an actual weapon.
He is a weapon. Weapon.
he gets up and takes a quick breath and he goes, and then first let's roll. Holy
For some reason, I imagine
moly!
you're like picking up a cat gun or something and just
Grand total
freaking
of
firing.
14. So that deep breath worked. He stands up and he goes, he pushes his hand forward and you just see a sort of purplish orb, looks about like ping pong ball size and just like looks like purple flames coming off of it. Flies through the air and just goes straight through one of the gnolls. As he takes... that is... math.
I believe in you.
Okay, so yeah, it hits this gnoll and like goes through his shoulder on like the not part side, and he's just got a big fucking hole in his chest now, and he's just barely there, barely hanging on. And he goes, aha, aha, I can still do it.
I can still do it.
Good job, man.
I still got it.
What now? One gnoll left. Well, actually, hang on. Oops. There we go.
One gnoll left.
Yes, one gnoll left. Two gnolls. No, there's still there's four more. Sorry, bad math. There's still four there. One of them is dead of the five that were coming up the hill, but one of them looks really, really bad, and the other one hit Roman and still looking pretty good. There are two more that have taken an arrow.
I mean, I'll keep swinging. That's what need be.
All right. What would everyone else like to do? And we'll just wrap up this quick fight because this is not meant to be a big focus here. This is more.
No, I just volley again.
I'm doing a volley. Okay, roll a volley. Roman, what would you like to do?
Swing again.
That's a 9.
Spartan tactic.
Wait, actually, that might be a 10. Let me see. That's a 10. Okay.
Okay. Roll. Don't worry about damage. What is Roman doing here at this end of this quick narrative fight?
Take another crack at the gnolls. See if I can get as many as I can.
I can slash.
That is an 8.
Okay, you managed to hit, and Bro, you take 1 instead of taking a condition from volley. And Roman, you also take 1, so pretty much no one takes any damage at the end of this fucking the end of this fucking fight as arrows are being fired off Legolas style. Roman is cracking through skulls. Trelaw is just firing off a magic missile here. Yeah.
I'm playing Whack-A-Knoll.
So eventually, Umbra, your friends are done playing with their food, and they come to the front gate and are prepared to enter the courtyard of the castle.
Okay, so I have to open the gate now, I guess.
Let us in, sir.
Find a mechanism easy enough, and it's
technically I didn't need the mechanism now that I think about it.
It's a let-down gate, so it doesn't open forward; it opens down.
Yes.
Via chain. Opens down. Everybody comes in. What would you like to do now? Empty courtyard, foggy and mysterious and a bit strange.
Is there any way for me to get in from where I am without getting down?
Not really. It's mostly just the door at the front and then that window up there that you probably wouldn't be able to get to. It would be extremely difficult.
So what's to say I can't punch a hole in the wall?
Thick stone.
Have you seen my ass?
Have you seen this wall?
Just step down from the wall, dang it.
It's fine. I jumped down.
I say, there's no way you're punching through stone. It's stone.
With the power
Actually,
of kinship.
technically, I could use technique to cut through it because I have that ability.
You use
Actually,
what?
I could. I have the technique void edged, so technically I could cut through that wall.
Void edged. What does that do specifically? What is the technique?
Allows me to cut through inanimate objects and adds messy to my attack if I use it.
Gonna make a lot of fucking noise, but you're welcome to.
Is that all it takes? Is that all it takes is messy? Because don't forget, I got a bat that does the same damn thing.
Yeah, but
That's also to say-
have.
It is an inanimate object, but it's not accounting for thick stone walls of a castle. It just means like maybe some crates are piled up in your way and you're running through the streets chasing some bad guys and you need to punch these crates out of your way. Or not, in this case, it would be, a lot of cases it would just be sword or mace, some crates out of your way with void edge. It doesn't necessarily mean punching through whole walls Superman style. This is not the Kool-Aid
so-
Man.
One more thing I can add.
I wouldn't do that unless there was a way for there's people on the other side which I could either hit with the warable
And,
or to cause fear. In which case, if there is not, then I just jump down.
There's also your party to discuss with how you would get in.
Exactly.
Considering
So,
that you have no
anyway,
idea what to
I could
expect on the inside.
I have a glyph called Void and Inverse. What about that, huh? Inverse? Make the rocks shatter inward.
Wait, wouldn't that make them shatter towards you?
I don't know, actually. I got a lot of weird glyphs here. I don't know what I can do.
Okay, so
I'm
So
not gonna
what
try
is-
anything. I'm dangerous. I'm not gonna try shit.
how about we just explore a little bit and try not to get caught by any more patrols within the structure?
Do a sneaky.
Patrol is what patrol?
Yeah.
What patrols?
Yeah.
We fucking blew up most of them, and he broke the other guy's neck. I think we're scot
let's
free.
hope-
In
that case, let's just hope that there's not more inside.
Sneak around.
Let's be
Because we
careful
don't want to
going.
get outnumbered.
Yeah, let's be careful going into the building. Courtyard's clear. I don't know about this structure.
So, what else is in the courtyard that we can find that may be important?
Mostly just tools and looks like wood for burning.
I see blood.
Lots of blood. pile of dead bodies and some blood. It looks like they were tossed out off the roof of the castle or through a window somewhere further up or something like that. But yep, there is definitely a pile of
How
those.
lovely.
Absolutely lovely. All types of people. Dwarves, orcs, humans, elves, just different types of people. And
What's
some
that over there in the corner?
weapons racks around, and there's a tree, a really old, nasty tree, gnarly looking sucker.
Huh. Anything special about it? Because it kind of stands out on the map.
No, it's just a really big tree. It looks like it used to be some kind of centerpiece for whoever lived at this castle long ago.
Wait, are we talking about inside
Alright.
the room or the tree in the courtyard? That's kind
In the
of
courtyard.
Okay,
You haven't gone in yet, so you have no idea what is over that way yet.
I see.
Okay. So, what's on the weapon racks? Anything interesting at all?
Same, pretty much the same as what Umbra experienced up on the wall. It's mostly just normal weapons like clubs, maces, warhammers, spears, swords, varying sizes, just like different stuff like that. Just looks
Okay,
like
well-
weapons racks for them to keep things on hand in case some shit went down, which it did, and it did not help them.
is there like a knife or a small weapon like that by chance?
Yeah, you can definitely find you can find a couple of daggers dashed in one that's more of like a pile rather than like, you know, big swords and stuff leaned up against one. It's more of like a box that they're set down in. And you find like 3 daggers.
Okay, well, I take those for later. Me and Roman are gonna have a talk about these.
Ooh.
Okay, so just mark down 3 ammo of daggers. That's why I said 3 daggers, but we'll say you have more. I'll give you full ammo for that. Why not?
Okay.
So dagger with 3 ammo. Anyone else? What would you like to do?
Well, I look around. Is there possibly any other way in than through that door? Because I have a feeling there may be trouble waiting on the other end.
From what you can see, at least down here, there's not really any other way in. It's just that mostly that front door that's kind of bulky.
So do we go in loud and guns blazing, or do we attempt to just kind of sneak by?
I can attempt. Sneaking's not my forte, but I'll do my darndest. Just don't blame me if it goes south.
Don't worry, you
Wait,
make the
what
perfect distraction.
Wait. We were trying to find out what entrances are here. What happened about that?
Just
there's
the
I wasn't
front
listening
door
for a
there on the
second.
left. I don't really see any other ways in down here.
Well, it looks like we're just gonna have to go in and see what happens. If there are guards there, we're just gonna have to directly deal with them. I don't think sneaking is going to work right away.
Oh, so you don't mind if I absolutely obliterate this door to try to
Well,
instill
we
fear
don't
on
want to.
whoever's on the other side?
We don't want to attract unwanted attention. So if we can try and maybe open this door without breaking it right away, that would be nice.
But that's not fun.
And if we can deal with things quietly, we should. But I mean, like,
I agree.
we will probably have to, judging by the structure of it, we might run into guards right away.
Let's just go in and
We'll just go in and see what the hell happens.
let's just take a slow stroll.
Nothing
No.
like improvisation.
We'll say
Either way,
have
we're just
a-
going in.
Try not
We'll
to
say
have a
Is the
while-
gate
while
locked or anything?
We're just walking in the front door.
we'll say while you guys were looking around in the courtyard trying to figure out maybe any sort of alternate options, Trello would have like would you have want him to have ended haste while we were here in this
Yeah.
situation?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
can
Okay, so yeah, he canceled that and like he kind of held your arm while he kind of looks at you and he rewinding a couple of minutes. He says, "Are you ready? You're going to lose control of yourself for a moment. You'll feel like first time you ever ran really, really, really hard for an extended period of time and then woke up the next morning and your legs didn't work. Kind of like that."
Oh, I did that the first time I went into a dungeon.
And then he ends it while you're in the middle of your sentence. And he like holds your arm and like catches you a little bit. It feels like your legs just
His
just
entire
are
body
gone.
stops working like midway.
Oh yeah, I remember this feeling.
So just give it a moment, it'll pass. Just hang on, take a drink of your water. Just rest a moment while they look around.
I don't think he needs water. I think he might need all.
No, I need water, please. Don't take this away from me.
Oh, I didn't inherit this. Not
Right,
to give it to him,
so-
I suppose this is fine.
Front door.
Oh my god, I forgot that was your freaking Discord status skull.
So we're all ready for the front door. A few minutes later, after he's finally
Yep.
rested a moment. Okay.
One door.
Who is first? What is the order of operations here? Give me
I'm gonna
everybody in
go
a
last.
line.
I'm going last.
Okay.
Me
actually,
first, I guess.
If we're being sneaky.
Okay.
I actually walk up to Roman and I hit him in the back like he did with like he did Kron. I'm like, you all right there, buddy?
Give him the old good job.
I'm not very sneaky. I know I'm gonna fuck this up. So I'd rather y'all two go in, and then yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can like hide in a barrel or something. Maybe I can jump behind a barrel just before someone. I don't know.
Maybe you can
Trello
put a
walks
wound
up
on
to
the
you and
barrel.
he touches you on the shoulder and he says, "Here, we'll try something different." And at least to you, absolutely nothing happens. You watch as Trello walks over Umbra and Crow, and he touches Roman's shoulder and then Roman just disappears. He says, "This might help you a little bit in being a bit more stinky." Sneaky. I almost said stinky. I don't know why that came out. I guess Roman's stinky. But yeah, he turns you invisible.
Can I tell? Do I look at my hands?
Yeah, once you try to like look around, you notice it like there's nothing there. But in that particular in that instant, you just didn't notice anything right away, and then you're just like, "Oh shit, I'm invisible."
Oh, this is a spell. Oh. I need that.
Where's my hands?
He says, "As soon as you attack, though, this will fade, and you will become visible again."
Well,
he looks at where you would be, and then he looks at the other two, and he says, "I'm also ready. Are we ready to go in?"
Now that I'm invisible, I'll take the lead. I don't mind.
So you couldn't be invisible when I was sneaking it up.
That would have been incredibly difficult
Yes.
while he was meant to go really fast. So, enter time. Enter time.
Yes.
Time.
I'll
Yes.
go
You
in.
have a point.
So, how are we entering? Are we going to turn the knob and slowly open the door, or are we just like throwing the door open? Fuck it, go in.
That's
Open
Roman's
the
choice
doors.
since he's in the front and invisible.
Roman's gonna try to open it as slow as he can and like peek inside, since it'll just look like the door is just opening by itself.
Okay, so you pull the handle, push the door open slowly.
Yeah.
It does a little bit of like, the typical old castle wooden door that hasn't been opened in very, very, very long time. Opens slowly. And you see a brazier off to your left. And pretty much what you can see there on the left side. You can see the chandelier on the ground in front of the brazier. And
What fashion?
peeking around the corner, you can see a collapsed statue. And it's just an ancient, collapsed, old, 1,000-year-old mess in here. What would you all like to do in this seemingly empty room?
Just
Maybe
certain
look
realities.
around a bit. Is there anything?
This hell of seems to lead to the back room for some reason.
So you guys begin to look around and you find some
That's
look like
situation
old collapsed
there.
bookshelves, and then Umbra kind of spots the blood and goes over and tries to inspect the blood trail. And you're all looking around when you hear a voice come out from over by the stairwell to the left of the room, and you hear,
Well, hello everyone. Welcome. Today, you will be the final sacrifices, the awakening sacrifices for his coming. Welcome.
and it's just like a dark hooded gnoll standing in the corner like this, over by the stairs, with his hands clasped. And he says,
Prepare yourselves.
and he snaps, and Umbra, down the hallway from you, you'll hear the sound of sounds like chains clinking, and then you hear the sounds of like a wooden door rocking, and then you hear and then you hear how to describe the sound. It sounds like a cat growling, but a really, really deep, really, really big, really, really carrying, and really, really vibrating in your chest. But not that of a lion. Sounds more cat-like as you're standing there looking down this dark hallway into feasibly nothing. What do you do? It is growing closer.
About the knoll. I
Mhm.
shoot an arrow to try and pin his clothes to the wall so he won't escape.
Once you, I'll say, plot armor. You look in the direction of the noise and you look back and that knoll is no longer there. Like readying an arrow looking for him and it's just nothing.
Okay.
Welcome to Creepy Town. You guys have stepped in Creepy Town. Population, a few.
I'm still
I-
invisible, right?
Yes, you're still invisible, and that growling from down the hallway is growing closer and ever louder.
I tell Umber to back up so that, and I just say, let's, he's gonna have to come out, whatever it is gonna have to come out of that hallway. So let's just wait to see what it is. As soon as we can, let's attack it. It sounds feral, whatever it is.
Is he in lag mode at the moment? I'm assuming
Nice.
so. So yeah, he backs up a little bit closer to that other brazier on the left side of the room. He kind of just backs up towards, I'm assuming roughly where Roman would be standing, right? Are you standing on the left side or right side or?
I think Roman would be kind of like near the stairs. Like he's not going up the stairs, but he's going towards where the stairs are. He's going towards that wall, like right where he's gonna try to stand there and wait till he sees this, whatever this is. He's gonna be behind it.
Okay. So you're waiting by the wall. Umbra backs up towards you, trying to get, not knowing where you are, but he walks into that space there. Crow, how are you preparing for this?
You see, looks like there's a table or a barrel or something on the right. I get behind that.
Yeah, there's like a split table and a shelf and some cracked open old crates. Everything just covered in a layer of dust and just being broken to pieces and stuff. But yeah, you get over onto that side of the room and hide behind it. And first you see the little bit of light hit what looks like kind of light brown fur with some black dots on it. It kind of makes you cock your head for a second. You go, that is making that kind of sound? And his head comes out a little bit more, and its head is enormous. It's huge. And then comes out a little bit more. And down by the neck, that coloration shifts from the light brown with black dots into snowy ice white fur running down into its enormous paws. And they do not look like cat paws. As it steps even further out, and its tail end, as well as higher up on its back, you see two wings that are leathery with feathers on them, as well as the back legs are not that of the same make as the other parts. They match more to the wings than they do the rest.
Like a chimera looking thing?
Exactly, a chimera looking thing. What would you like to do? As it looks around and it's just letting out this deep, guttural, just chest-penetrating, bassy growl.
So where to begin?
It's just looking around the room now, smelling just...
I use a called shot and aim for the head.
Alright, roll your called shot. Roman, would you like to do anything?
Probably. I'm gonna try to sneak up behind it, and like maybe not know where maybe like near one of those fucked up looking bat legs, and just take a mighty crack at it.
Okay, so you're going to take the hardest hit you can at it. Who wants to hit first? Roman, this would actually be your decision, considering you can probably see Crow from where you're at. And you're invisible, so he can't see you.
I think Roman should hit first. That because if I land my called shot, it was a 9 by the way, it'll stun him so that he'll deal the damage and then he'll be immediately safe right after because it'll be stunned from my called shot to the head.
All right. Yeah, Roman's gonna take his hit, after which he'll go get out of invisible.
Take your swang.
Oh, please don't be a fuck up. Alright, so that's a 7. Huh.
Alright, roll your damage.
D8 and 1d6. This is gonna be the 1 on the d6. It's a 4 on the d8, so 5.
5 damage total, you said?
5 whole damage.
So it begins to smell around the room, and as you're approaching it, you think, oh shit, it can see me, because you're not used to being invisible. Oh shit, it can see me, it can see me, it can see me. And it smells up towards you. Or not really up or down towards you. It's very large, so it's more at you.
Okay, what did I miss this time? That took me way too long to fix.
The speckled light brown coloration of fur with black dots all over it as it stepped out, and then at its shoulders it changed to white fur with giant paws, and then on its back you saw leathery but yet feathered wings and back legs to match. It is, as Crow had figured out, some kind of chimera. And you've backed up more towards the left by that brazier there, per the request of Crow. And Roman is about to smack the shit out of it, and then Crow follow up with a shot to stun it. So you did 5 damage, you said? And it starts to smell in your direction, Umbra. And you kind of like freeze for a second, thinking that it's like gonna see you, but it's like smelling more closer to it. And then you remember, oh shit, Roman's invisible. So it's smelling really close to it. And then, how do you hit it, Roman?
I'm gonna fucking go after its like knee if I can. Just
the more spindly, leathery, feathered ones in the back, or the polar bear looking ones in the front?
I'm going for a back leg.
Okay.
Mafia style.
So you swing out, hit this thing in the leg, and it lets out and just lets out this big fucking monstrous growl as it like turns and swipes at you, and you will take.
Oh boy, lay it on me.
Shit.
Wait, can I use my called shot here just so that before it attacks him, I hit him in the head and then it stuns him and he doesn't actually take the swing?
If you do succeed well enough, we will say it will negate 8 damage. If you can do it. I like the idea.
The roll that I had gotten was a 9. Do you want me to roll again?
You'd rolled a 9. Well, it'd be the roll that you made originally.
Yeah, that was the roll that I made originally.
You get called shot. Do you deal damage regardless with that one? I don't remember.
No, only if I get a 10 plus.
Ah, yes, that's right. So, say because you did technically succeed, and you didn't do any damage, only Roman did. We'll say, yeah, you're able to stun it as it like goes to swipe at him, and it just like freezes there for a second. And it looks stunned. Umbra.
Okay, it's stunned.
Yes, briefly.
I have basically no idea what we're doing, so
there was no plan. It was just hide and wait for a scary monster to come out of the dark.
Last we were here, we had literally just walked in to the compound through the door, so I don't know anything that happened before this.
That's most of you guys have walked around for a brief second, and then a guy appeared on the stairwell and said, essentially welcome to hell, and then he snapped his fingers, and the door at the end of the hall you were looking down opened, and some deep, low, guttural cat growling that sounded like a cat from hell started coming out of that doorway.
Okay, and then there's there now. Okay.
And then it came out, and now this is happening.
So
it's about even with where that puddle of blood is.
So. So while it's stunned, I run up to it as fast as the speed that I can go.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm doing this, I slide in between its legs and cut its stomach with my claws as I'm sliding underneath it.
Okay, so are you sliding under it from the side or from
the front?
From the front. Okay. So roll your hack and slash.
Okay. 8. 8 is nice.
Roll your damage.
Okay.
And because of him being stunned, you actually get to skip taking damage. One damage?
One earlier too. Man, we are.
One! After all
Oofers.
that technical issue crap I had to go through to get 1 damage, I'm so angry right now. Woo! Well, I cut him. I mean,
Okay,
I have
so
2
yeah, you
piercing.
cut it,
I don't
and
know if that's gonna help.
Hide is a bit thicker than you expected. Bro, what would you like to do?
Oh wait, I could have. Dang it! I could have used a. I could have used a freaking ability. I could have used the technique on more.
Save the technique. You're still stunned.
Yeah.
Oops. Hey, look at something real quick.
If you need a second to plan, we can go over to Roman for a second.
Well, I think I don't like where I'm at because I'm kind of cornered, so I actually go and jump over it. And as I'm jumping over it, I fire an arrow down at its back.
Okay. Roll volley and we'll see how this goes.
Six.
Mark XP for that.
I haven't had that bad of a roll in a minute.
Oh, join the club, buddy.
So you knock an arrow and you go to jump over it and your foot catches the top of it and it was taller than you were expecting it to be at the moment of jumping. And you kind of go and tumble over onto Roman's side. Roman tumbles past you onto the ground trying to do what looked to be a cool move that ended badly. What would you like to do?
Don't worry, buddy. I got you. I'm gonna jump and hit its back. Not jump over it. I'm just gonna like jump as high as I can and just
jumping up in the air, making a strike downwards. All right, hack and slash.
Get it right in the spine.
The span.
And the spine. That is an 8.
All right, roll damage.
Woo. Let's roll the D8 first. Maybe I'll have better luck. Ooh, a 5 on the D8. And a fucking 1 on the D6. So I'd be 6 damage.
How much? 6, you said?
6 total, yeah. If I was a barbarian, I would have died by now.
Not on my watch, you wouldn't have.
Okay, so you strike it and you hit it, and it's a pretty good hit, and it like lets out a bit of a roar, and it turns around and it swipes at you, and you take 9 damage.
Ooh, buddy, God, does that feel good? Give me a second, I got some math to do.
So, I had an idea for something to do, but it might be hard to accomplish.
What do you got?
I would like to rip its wings off, please.
That will. I'll say you can do that, but it will take multiple Defy Danger strengths. We'll say probably 2 Defy Danger strengths after kind of a round of everybody doing something.
If it works to make it easier, I would like to use my Void Edge ability to, slice through.
You could do one at a time if you do that. So I'll say roll Arcane Blade Work, and then of course we know the applied effect.
Okay, what do I roll for Arcane Blade Work? I don't have that sheet open.
Have it open. Go ahead and open it, and I'll tell you at this particular moment while I'm trying to find where the fuck. Okay. When you attempt to incorporate a magic into a melee attack, roll plus intelligence. On a 10 plus, you deal your damage and apply one technique. On a 7 to 9, you deal your damage and apply one technique, and your opponent attacks you. So it functions the same as hack and slash, except you get to add a technique. And that you roll with intelligence.
Okay, yeah, I really need that sheet open. Okay, give me a second to go back and get it in the Discord. Okay, so just 2d6 plus intelligence?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll ask right now in this brief, quick moment, do we want to try and finish tonight, or do we want to try and pick up after this fight next week?
Pick up after this fight next week.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure.
Okay, 2d6 plus intelligence. Let me get that.
What was it?
I'm going to mark XP for that 4. Give me a second.
Oh my god.
Oof.
Oof.
I am just.
Molly, dude.
I'm depressed to my current luck today. Hopefully, I will use all of it for this entire freaking month.
You are lucky because you only take 5 damage as
Oh, only 5?
as you grab its wing and attempt to make a move upon it, and it throws its wing over, and you go flying torpedo towards the ground, and you meet a paw to the face that just gores you as you come down.
Please, did he break my mask? Please tell me he didn't. I hope for
Damaged
fact
but
he
not
did break
broken.
my mask. Can you see through it at any point? Or is it just cracked?
Not in here because it's a bit dark and it's just candlelit with a couple of braziers, but not yet. Just
crap. I'm also realizing that this wouldn't have even been pointed out unless I said something. So I'm a moron. Anyways,
I mean, it's play into what your character probably wouldn't like. You have to make your moves sometimes against yourself.
I like it. Good immersion here.
Narrative things are always fun in a narrative game, on top of trying to also do numbers things.
Son of a. Okay.
Drama is fun as well as damage.
My damage. Okay. So how much my health do I? Oh, that doesn't even freaking touch me. Holy crap.
Crow, what would you like to do?
Still have 22
This thing is
health,
taking some hits.
My health is.
Roman seems to have gotten a pretty good one, and then Umbra got tossed off of it and just gored across the floor and just rolled away.
So, there's a weapon rack in here, right?
Not that you can see. Most of the weapons racks were outside. Most of what's in here is just like broken bookshelves and stuff, and tables and chairs. They look like they've been there forever.
Okay.
Seems like nothing has moved in here in age. Longer, really.
In that case, I don't know if I can do this. Oh no, I don't think it'd be worth it. I just shoot another arrow at it. And it's not a called shot. I just volley.
Just volley? Okay, so roll volley.
13.
All right, roll damage.
That's what I like to hear. Success.
1. I got 1.
Oh wow! Okay,
What
so you
is going on?
so you pull the arrow back and it turns and looks at you as you go to fire, and you just freeze for a second, and like the arrow it just kind of releases randomly and just kind of skids off of its head.
I do believe you've contracted terminal not good.
You've contracted terminal, really scared of this fucking crazy looking thing. Roman.
I'm going for another knee again. I'm just like
Run
swinging
around
at
and hit it
back.
from the other side.
I'm just
kinda like
like
So this battle is slowly shifting more towards the middle of the room, is kind of where you guys are now. So roll hack and slash.
yeah, I'm going for the knees. Just like, go down, please. That is an 8. God, I'm so average when it comes to hitting.
Better than nothing. Damage.
Alright, D8. That's 4 damage on the D8, and another D6. 3, so 7 damage.
You guys are trading big numbers because he rolled another 9 damage on you. So as you run up and he swipes his paw at you and you just like take the hit and just kind of like use the rage from the pain to swing into it. Roman, how do you kill the Chimera?
Oh shit, he fucking... Oh man.
By the way, Trevor has just been hiding around the corner this whole time. He's fucking terrified. just telling you. He's also holding like... Well, no, the invisibility would have gone, so he's not holding the invisibility on you. It's not really an active thing. He's just hiding.
The question is he terrified my face or that thing's face?
Oh, that thing's face for sure. He did not even notice you rolling away like a discarded piece of paper.
Roman hits the back, just hits his Chimera's knee, then he gets swiped. He's like, God damn it, I'm tired of this. And he's just gonna swing up at its like chin and just like...
I did one damage.
Just boom, swing upwards.
So you guys watch Roman swing upwards in frustration, and you hear just kind of a crunching noise and a cracking noise at the same time, and then the Chimera just kind of tumbles over its front legs onto its face, and then rolls over on its side.
You see some of its teeth fly out, broken.
Oh yeah, there's definitely some teeth that fall out of the mouth after it lays there dead.
Definitely a smashed jaw somewhere in there.
I've got messy, so.
Well, yeah, it is a mess. Messy has done its thing because it is hurting. Well, not hurting. It is dead.
God. I am hurting.
You are hurting. Also, yes, you have taken some huge hits.
Roman's just like.
Umber's kind of disappointed himself considering the fact that he kind of just failed at his family's general occupation.
Oh, I'm going to completely remove that from my notes. You have killed my special Chimera. Good work.
Give me a second. Give me a second, boys. I'll be back on my feet.
No, I totally intend. I intend for you guys to kill all things for the most part, at some point, whether it be early or late.
Does that include each other?
Sure. Sure, we're going murder hobo, PvP. Let's go and dungeon roll. It's the hardest game to PvP ever.
Oh my god,
we'll
it's gonna be like old Double Dragon where you fight your friend at the end.
Do we want to go on any further, or do we want to end here?
Roman's.
I think we should end here.
Before we end, Roman's just standing there, but he's like, oh, "Give me a second, boys. I'm gonna heal myself up real quick, and I'm gonna snap my fingers. My dangerous healing rune."
Umbra just kind of walks towards it in anger and kicks it in the face, and he's like, "Do you know how long it took me to make this mask?"
So roll the healing.
You roll the healing.
Yeah, roll the healing.
Ooh, a 7. There's the big number.
So you take your 7, and as you do it, you feel better, and then the rune just blows out, and so it just like sparks and just like shoots smoke like off of your hand, and you know this to mean that in that particular spot you are not going to be able to make a rune anymore, unfortunately. It had a dangerous effect in that it has ruined that particular spot.
On both my thumb and my middle finger. I've just got a permanent black rune on 2 of my fingers. I'm like, oh, Roman falls to the ground now, not after the hurt. Just like he's like, oh my god.
Yeah, make sure you mark down that
just from the realization
those 2 fingers are now ruined for making runes on yourself.
Those 2 fingers, I'm gonna look fucked up if I keep doing this. And I just like mess up so many tattoos. I'm like covered like a tribal tattoo artist guy.
It is a risky business that you do. You're marking things on yourself that do things. These markings do things. You're already brave enough in that aspect of it, as well as the fact that some of them blow up.
And then Umbra looks at him and he's like, "You're complaining about your appearance? You realize I wear a mask for a reason, right?"
I will say, in passing the light, the 2 of you notice just a tiny little bit. Not sure of the color, not sure of the length, just a touch of fur sticking out from the mask. But that's it.
Huh. Alright, that's not the weirdest thing I've seen. I just beat the shit. Did you see that? That was cool as hell. Who cares about my fingers? But
I don't know if I can carry these around, but I want to take its wings.
Well, what are you gonna do? Fuse them to yourself?
I'm gonna say, I
Maybe.
don't know where you would put them. Crow, looking at
How
these,
big
you
those
would,
are
you have no idea where you would put these if you were to take them.
I can carry them.
No, I mean they are huge.
Without-
I can carry them.
I know.
They are
That's why I'm
enormous.
like,
there's not a pack that they're
I'm
gonna fit in.
thinking-
This is
Wait,
gonna be
wait
like
a
something
second,
that you
do we-
carry away after if you guys live.
You guys,
yeah, I was gonna say, actually,
like,
okay,
put them in
I'll leave
corner
the
or
body here
something.
for now. Then we'll just leave them on the body for now, and I'll come grab them later.
Oh, actually, wait. Crow, could you understand what it was saying?
I was mostly just shouting angrily, brainlessly. I just wanted to eat something, I guess.
That
Must
is
have been
exactly
hungry.
what it wanted to do. It was an extremely hungry creature.
Sounds
If
like
it
me. when
can
you're
do
reading
it, that's all it does is eat.
Devour.
Lives to devour and it lives to hunt.
That's actually a sad existence.
Yes, yes, it was.
Live to eat, live to hunt. that sounds
Now
like
looking
me.
down at it, yeah, you guys like looking at this thing. It definitely had a very sad existence.
I kind of pull my, because I do have a hood. The hood is supposed to go over the mask. I
Mhm.
kind of pull the hood forward and attempt to hide like the cracked off part of the mask.
In the shady corners of these dark halls, it does the job, but once you get outside, maybe not.
It's probably not going to help. It'll help a little bit, just not enough.
Not enough in
Alright.
outside, not enough to sense that you would probably want it to, but it will help. Would anyone else like to do anything?
I think that's it.
Yeah, nothing else at the moment.
Okay, I'll make some notes really quick, and then we'll do end of session.